Let's deal with one of the classics, the kitchen cupboards. One of the main issues I come across in kitchens all the time is the matter of food storage. People have a lot of cutlery and crockery, but when it comes to storing food properly, it's often a bit of an issue, especially if you're living in a household with more than one person. You need a lot of stuff on site, and that doesn't even take into account that people may have different preferences for different types of cereal, for different pasta, for different spices. So that grows exponentially with the number of people. What I've done here is show you how I approached my own kitchen, because I realized that I didn't have enough space for food storage and it wasn't really practical. I couldn't access things properly, I couldn't find them. And now with the corona crisis going on, we tend to store more food. I, for one, had a food delivery organized that will arrive after this session. So I wanted to make enough space to be able to store those things without having to fill all my open surfaces. Without further ado, let me show you the situation as it is right now. Okay, this is the current situation. I've got this one cabinet that holds all the snacks. Above that, I've got one shelf that is really inconvenient, that holds a number of my teapots and milk jugs and that kind of stuff, but also lots of dry food like rice and pasta and breakfast cereal. Then the next one is what I would consider my food storage area that has tinned food and dried foods again, like sugar and flour and that kind of stuff. Then below that, I've got what I consider the regular stuff, like breakfast, Nutella and spreads, and all the condiments that I use on a regular basis. Plus, I have one drawer that I consider a food storage drawer, which has dried foods, it has tea, it has all kinds of condiments again. So it's kind of a mix. As you can see, it's kind of disorganized. Some of the stuff is sitting in places that I cannot access easily. I do have a stepladder in my kitchen, which I use all the time, but I have found myself not using it all that much because I had enough space to put food on the lower shelves. Now, you've seen that the upper shelves, where they are available, are very difficult to access, and that's why I've put my food storage containers up there. The first step that I usually take is to extract everything that is food related out of the cupboards and put it on the open surfaces as much as possible and organize it into functional groups that I would recognize, or in the case of a client, that the client would recognize as meaningful for them. This is the situation after I've taken everything out of the shelves. So that's my snack corner, tinned foods, dried foods, and breakfast stuff, baking, herbs, and teas, and bread. At this point, I need to look at the functional groups that I've decided to use, or that the client has decided to use, and try to match them with the available storage space. Keeping in mind, of course, that the functional groups can increase and decrease in size, like is the case with me when my food delivery arrives. Having looked at that, some things make a lot more sense because the functional groups are together. And here we go again. So this is the snack cupboard, which has the savory snacks on top and the sweet ones at the bottom. And right above the snack cupboard, I now have an extra box that separates out my teapots and knickknacks. The toaster is there and my extra containers. There's no more food in this place. This one hasn't really changed all that much. I still have my condiments at the bottom that need sorting out a little bit. And I've got my breakfast stuff and tea in the top shelf, so it's easy to access and it's all together. And right above it, now I have a pure pantry storage food cupboard, which has not just the items that are for food storage, but also the ones that are currently in use. They're all together, which is really useful. And here we go with the little drawer. It has all the extra condiments, some breadcrumbs, the baking stuff, and some condiments that I use very rarely. And that's it, bar the food delivery tomorrow. I know now that I've got enough space to put things in where they need to go with the other stuff that corresponds, and I don't have to worry about shifting things around too much. I won't clog up my workspace with food that doesn't have a home to go to. This is the way I usually attack kitchen storage when it comes to food, because it not only allows my clients and myself in this case to review what I've got and take out the things that are barely alive anymore, but it also allows me to occasionally review the choices of functional groups that I made before and rearrange things according to the needs that I have now. Why not return and watch me do my own medical cabinet to pick up some ideas for yours? In the meantime, please stay safe. If you want more, there are options. Click the round logo to subscribe to this channel, or select the playlist in the middle to see more content, or check out the links in the description below. Oh, and feel free to like this video.